All right, it is 5:30 and I am calling the August 5th meeting to order. Taking roll call. Market manager Lori and Harry here. Assistant manager Jamie Allen here. Oopa-doopa-doo. Committee member Ellen Granger here. Secretary Pam Ball here. Treasurer April Brunel is here. Committee member Pete Harry is here. Committee member Ellen Granger is here. And our town liaison Linda Davis is here. And I don't see Bill. And Amy said she'd be late or call in. So that is roll call. Any citizens' comments? All right, moving along. Informational items. I have none. Anybody else?
Not me.
Okay. Review and approval for the prior meeting. Has everybody gone over them pretty much and reviewed the minutes from May? It's both meetings, the May 6th meeting and the special meeting on the May 27th. So does anybody want to make a motion?
I
For
make a
May
motion
6th?
to accept the minutes for both meetings as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Unanimous. Unanimous.
So those were from the which meetings again? So I can write it in my notes.
May 6th and May 27th.
May 27th. All right.
All right, Miss April, do you want to give a quick report even with your background noise or?
Hello, I'm here. As far as the treasury report, there's not much to report, but we are doing very well. We have almost 8,000 in our till that we can access. It's like 7 and change, but it's very close to 8,000. And our expenses to date have been close to 3.
Is that for the
That's
entire 20
overall.
that's overall for this year, including?
Yeah, so overall, the full number is 2,827 and some change that we've at our expenses. And the available budget is 7,869.99. So that's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
that
yeah, so
includes-
we're in good shape.
that's entertainment and
Yeah.
supply. Wow, that's really great. I thought we were way over that.
No, so far we're doing really, really well. So
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
yeah,
All right.
that's it for me. The budgets are printed on the attached minutes too, so you can see all those lovely numbers as well.
All right.
All right,
Thanks,
I'm gonna mute
April.
myself again because it's loud.
All right. Comments of committee members. Anybody? No? All right. Market manager report. I don't have a whole lot to report except this market has gone phenomenally well. We have gotten crazy positive feedback from patrons. They are loving it. The only negative so far I've seen is that it's really not handicapped accessible with the gravel pavement under the pavilion. I know Jamie was looking into farmer market grants so that maybe we could possibly pay for it to be paved under there. The vendors, very, very happy. Some were asking about winter market. I told them we were discussing it tonight and we were keeping an eye on it because of the rise in COVID and possible restrictions being in place again. So, and really that's all I have to report. So, old business. Does anybody have any old business to discuss?
I can't even remember the old business.
I know, me either. Ugh. I didn't do a whole lot of research for that because I've been fighting this migraine for days. So I just wanted to keep this as simple as possible.
Yeah.
But I don't think we really have anything old. Oh, so entertainment wise, Nick Bossy was supposed to be at the market that we ended up canceling. We didn't have to pay him for that, but he's agreed to come and play the last market.
That's awesome.
So closing day, we have Nick. So that was good. Oh, and Nyack Children's Museum was supposed to be there with their Under the Sea program because it was Pirates Day. They've rescheduled with us and they're doing a Don't Burst My Bubble program. I think it's in 2 weeks. So at least we've gotten what we've paid for. So that's a good thing. That's a plus.
What about the Pirates? Can we bring them back at another?
That would be Jamie, and Melody has contact with them.
Oh,
I would love to, but I don't know where we'd really fit them in anymore. And next year, I think we need to have Pirates Day as one of the first markets, like maybe the 3rd week or so, because it's one of the more popular and the vendors love it. And they were so disappointed that we had to cancel because they understood because of the weather, but they were all gung-ho for it. Sarah at Cider Hill had like pirate goodie bags for the kids, and it was a bummer. So maybe next year we can hold it earlier when we know the weather's gonna hold up a little bit better.
arr.
That's a good idea. And I really do like those pirates.
And then Jamie doesn't have to miss it because Jamie's always missing it. So anything else?
Just in keeping with the entertainment, one of my customers last night said that the volume of the DJ was great because she didn't have to shout under the pavilion.
It was funny because Bill is here, by the way. Bill Thorne is present. We actually, there was a time when I was standing at Captain Scott's, which was directly next to the DJ,
Yeah.
and I could not hear the music. And I was standing right there. So it was funny because James actually came up to me and said, somebody came over and I thought they were going to tell me to turn it down, and you guys actually told me to turn it up. So So no, it was good. And it was good because he lowered it when the crowd was smaller.
Ah, yeah.
When it's a small crowd, he doesn't play as loud. So
Yeah. I mean, people commented, they noticed.
he's just he is great for the market. He is so entertaining and so, yes, Miss Jamie.
I was gonna say, so I had brought chalk to this market and he saw that the kids were writing in chalk and he called me over and he said, listen, I brought chalk too. He said, would you mind if I put on a like a sidewalk chalk contest? And he literally just at spur of the moment threw a chalk drawing contest, which was great. I don't know what his prize was, but he did that spur of the moment.
He pays the kids. He will give them $1, $2, $5. And speaking of the chalk, last night about 6:45, I walked out onto the pavement and it was a sea of wet, broken chalk everywhere. And so I went up to him and I said, is there any way we could, and there wasn't many people there. There's probably a handful of kids left. And so he did a contest and I ran over to Broadbrook. I got some plastic bags. He did a contest with 5 kids to see who could pick up the most chalk. So it was all picked up and bagged. And he gave the kids money and Chet's gave the winner an Italian ice. So that worked out great. Because I was overwhelmed at the thought of picking up every piece of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, on to new business. Yes, Jamie?
So I have an idea. I don't know why I have these ideas because then we have to bring them to fruition, but all right, so here's my idea. So for September, the last 3 markets, I have a little game that I was thinking we could play with our patrons. And here's the game. Has anybody ever been to the corn maze and you have like a little chart? Can you see the chart? It's got numbers in it. There we go. All right. And it's got a little chart and it's got numbers in it. And then as you get to each stamping station, you stamp. So my idea was we give customers this little like bingo looking board, right? With numbered 1 through 40 or however many vendors we have that time. And then we give each vendor gets a little stamp. And as a customer comes in, the vendor would stamp their number with the little stamp that we'd give them. Every stamp is different. And they would have to hand in their card with their name and address or their name and their phone number on it. And then we give, since we have plenty of money, each week, the person that gets the most purchases from vendors would get like a $20 in market bucks, which we would give $21 market bucks because they don't do change on those. And then it just says on the bottom, it says the customer with the most stamps will win $20 in market bucks for the following week's market. So we couldn't do the last, we could do the first 2 September markets. Rules, the card must be turned in by 7 p.m. the day of the market. In the event of a tie, a winner will be drawn at random. The market bucks are only valid for the summer 2021 season. So I was thinking, you know, if we could do, or just pick two markets or whatever and do that. And then I'll show you what a stamp would look like if you can sit right there. So 1 second.
We could even do the last 3 markets if you wanted to do 3. And
Well,
we
you
could
can't
even,
do the last, you can't do the last 3.
no,
because you
I
think
meant,
you can
I
do
didn't mean
bucks
the last
tonight.
3. I meant the last week in August and then the 2 in September.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on a second. I'm gonna get out the stamp. So thinking that you might say yes, but if you didn't, I would donate them. I purchased individual little stamps. So every one has a different little picture on it. And then you give it, you know, you give her kettle pot soap, you'd give her her little thing and she's usually in spot number, what, 16? And so when people purchase her, she'd stamp 16.
And just to reiterate that they only get a stamp if they have
If they
purchased from
purchase.
the vendor.
That's right. They have to purchase. They can't sample. It's like a legit purchase. Comments, questions?
I love the idea. I think you might want to only do 1 per family though. 1 sheet per family,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
or else it could be like 1,200 sheets a week you're going through.
Right. Yeah, I
Also-
would say the person that hands the money gets to get the stamp.
Also, Jamie, is there a way that there could be a link so people could print it themselves if they wanted to, like Linda could put up for the week?
Sure, we can try that. Linda, that should be easy, right? Or Linda, you could probably,
I make it complicated.
Okay,
okay.
I just didn't know, whatever.
So we'll just have them at the market booth then and people can pick 'em up. I have card stock.
So here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen to the vendors. We're going to get interrupted 50 times. Can you stamp my
Well-
card? Can you stamp my card? And then
No,
we're,
it shouldn't be like that, Pam, because it would be when they purchase, you would stamp.
Yeah, it's only for people who are purchasing. It's not gonna be
Yes.
people randomly walking up. So they would actually have to purchase from you. And when they purchase, they show you the card
you
and you
didn't let
stamp
me
it.
finish. You didn't let me finish. Because what's going to happen is they're going to come up and they're going to ask me, and I'm going to have to tell them again, even though you've already told them that they have to make a purchase to get a stamp.
Well, it does say that on the card too.
Yeah.
I know people don't read, I get that, but.
I mean, we can try it once, but I've been at many shows and all it is people interrupting you, asking you for a stamp, little kids coming up, asking you for a stamp. I don't mean to be a downer about it. It's not, it doesn't work the way you think it's going to work, has been my experience.
Well, how about this? We ask the vendors who want to participate.
Everybody's still going to get asked to give a stamp unless you give them a list. I mean, we can try it, but you know, you're going to tell people that they have to make a purchase and the kid's not going to know and he's going to run up with this thing, or they're going to buy the cheapest thing and charge it just so that they can get a I mean, we can try it. I just have not had good experience or good luck with.
Well, here's a question for you as a vendor, because you said people would come up and charge the cheapest thing. Is a sale, is 4 random $3 sales better than no random sales?
Honestly, I'd rather make one $12 sale than all those little sales, because every single one of those I have to account for. I mean, we'll try it. I just want you to understand it doesn't always work the way you think it works.
Well, we can try it and see how it goes and get vendor feedback.
Yeah. But I know you're going to tell them that they have to buy something, and then I'm going to tell them that they're going to have to buy something. And that's what's uncomfortable for the vendors, to have to say, well, you have to buy something before I can stamp it, to a 5-year-old kid. Or
I don't think
kids are going to be doing it.
A
So
5-year-old kid
we
should
wouldn't
not
be
be
giving
doing
them out
it.
to children. So we wouldn't be giving them out to children because they're not the purchasers. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and there could be complications and it could be difficult, but just that, you know, I mean, we wouldn't be giving it to a 6-year-old kid because I'm assuming he's not making a purchase. And if he does, he's probably not making more than 1 or 2.
Okay, so we'll try it.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Linda?
I was going to say that a 5-year-old should not be carrying the sheet around. It should be the purchaser. But I think
No.
Jamie said that. Yep.
And we can work on the wording at the top. We can put the wording on the top of the card instead of the bottom. And like, you know, we can say adult purchasers only.
That might help.
And you know, it might, people might get into it and they may go to a booth they weren't planning on going to.
Well, that's what we're hoping for.
And
Yeah.
that was the whole plan, thinking, what about the people that come and they go to 1 or 2 booths, or maybe 4 or 5, but they don't look at everybody. Maybe this would prompt them to look at other people's stuff, knowing that they could get, you know, money out of it, really.
Yeah, $20. No,
Right.
I just want you to understand how it works on the other side of the counter too. But yeah.
This is Bill. Can I ask a question? So you'll hand out one of these sheets that, let's say the third to the last and second to the last markets. The sheet will only be good for the market you hand it out on, right? Because they'll change positions in between. And then, so do you expect them to turn it in at the end of that market? Let's say it's the third to the last market.
Yes.
Turn those sheets in? And then
Yeah, so my
second,
so each market the card would be a different color each time, so people couldn't say, oh, I
Good idea. Good idea.
is there, so there's two, let's say we did it that way, there'd be 2 prizes. One for the, and would we give it out at the end of that market? So we would look, whoever had the most, there was a tie, would do a draw, but what if they're not there anymore?
So what I ran into this with my with the last one that we did what was it, Find the Pigs or whatever. And so after and everybody turned in their slip, everybody gave us their guess. We called them the following week. We let them know, we had their names written down, and they just came to the market booth and they got their prize. We did have somebody that won that wasn't here anymore because they were visiting, and so she gave it to her cousin. We did allow that. But I mean, I would say if they're not, you know, if they're not going to be around, I would assume that on that one they wouldn't play, because the other one was for kids. So kids were getting excited to do it, where this would be more adults.
There's still a pig on the side of the washstand too.
All right, I was looking around when I was there the other day. So if you see him, you can just rip him off.
I think he's cute there.
What better,
Actually, it was a pretty popular thing because we had kids come in the next week and saying, what can we find? What can we find? So they did like it.
So do we have to vote on this?
Linda?
No money.
I wouldn't think so.
Oh, but there is money. There's a prize.
Well, it's gonna cost money, so I would say you should vote on it.
Okay.
All right, does anybody want to make a motion?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that we do the Win Market Bucks promotion, that we, with a $20 prize for the person that gets the most stamps. In the event of a tie, our winner will be drawn at random. We will try it one market, and if it's successful, we'll do it a second market. If it's not successful, we will stop at that one.
I'm making notes. Does
I
anybody-
second.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Sounds unanimous. April's little phone hand is up. All right. Review and discuss summer 2021 market. I don't know. Has anybody run into any issues while we're there, Jamie?
Are we
Oh,
set?
I'm not on mute. No issues per se. It's just the gravel area, which I know Public Works did us a favor by filling in that gravel, the area that was constantly wet because we were losing it because it was constantly wet. We just need to be very aware of what vendors we put there. So for this past week, I put the food truck, I guess, it's Rustic Streets there. That works because they don't put a tent out, they don't put anything out. So the
Right.
vendor we put in that space, we just need to be very aware of who we're putting there. And not make sure that nobody that has to have tent or walk in front is there.
Supreme or Isa?
Right, and then the parking thing that you had talked about today, I sent you a picture. And I was talking about potentially putting the vendors along the line of the church, the entranceway, to save some parking spots, because I do agree with you. As a matter of fact, I saw some vendors parking there, and I was saying to the additional ones that were coming in, hey, you've got to park farther back than that. So
We had a lot of vendors parking in the front this week, and I had a few of our regular vendors come to me and say something. And it was regular vendors who were parking there. It wasn't, a couple of them were like a community vendor, or, you know, maybe it was, I'm just throwing this name out. It could have been like a one-timer, like Shiloh's Preference or whatever, but there were a lot of people who were doing that. So that's one of the reasons I sent out that email, just to kind of reiterate that. I know we do have some older vendors who can't park, like Kevin Staley parks all the way to the back by the main entrance. And I know we do have some vendors who cannot walk that far. Jamie?
I have to attend something else. So I don't know how much longer there is, but I might have to log on my phone so I can log out here and then log in on my phone if it's gonna be a little
Okay.
bit. Okay,
Okay.
so just accept me if I try.
Are
So,
Are people parking, oops, where's my Zoom meeting? Are people parking, when you come in from the driveway entrance, are people parking when you immediately to the right on the grass on the right there too? Is that a good spot to put vendors?
now that it's cleared out, I don't know though. That's, you
Well,
know what?
From the library?
We've been so full. The parking lot that's at the back of LCS, that's not even ours. People have been parking there, down that driveway, in the front of LCS, over at the library, and last week they were parked on the side of the road on Colonel Ledyard Highway. So I would prefer to leave that cleared out area where the fair is for patrons.
I wasn't talking about that area. I was talking about the area when you come in from the library entrance. As soon as you go through the gates, there's that grassy area.
Oh, no, yeah, that's where Jamie was just talking about, was that area, and then the one going up where the path is towards Holdridge Pavilion.
Yeah, that maybe would be vendor parking.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize you were talking about both sides of that area, Jamie. I thought you were just talking about the one. Because maybe we could even double park the vendors in there.
Yeah, because it's not like they're going to be going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is that it for summer market?
I think so. I mean, we've had lots of people trying to apply. I've been getting emails. I've had to, because it's a lot of duplicates, I've told them to try either if we have winter market or for next year, to keep an eye out for next year. I think next year, Jamie was talking about it, and we would like to try to get as many full and part-time vendors as possible for the beginning and have them signed up, and not so many like one spot here, one spot there. Not that we're going to turn them away, but if we could get full with the vendors who are going to be here almost all the time, that would be ideal, especially now that we're so busy.
Yeah, it's a lot less juggling.
This is Bill. So what is full? I mean, obviously, the potential, I guess, on the grassy area up toward the Holdridge Pavilion. I mean, I remember asking this question once. I mean, how many vendors do you consider full?
I think right now we're supporting, including food trucks. I think let me look right here. Let's see. We're between 40 and let's see, I know September, the last market is really full. 45. So, I mean, and that's a pretty good amount. I don't know if we'll ever actually, we may or may not exceed capacity, but it's doubtful. But when we say full-time, when we say full, we want full-time vendors who we know are going to be there every week, or part-time who's going to be there every other week. And just nail that down, because like Pam said, it's easier than juggling everybody. And I think vendors are probably going to be more willing to do that next year because we are so busy. We've had a lot of vendors, look at New Kurtz. She was new this year. She only wanted to try one market a month. I had told her, I said, Kate, I said, pay for part-time. I said, because I'm going to tell you, you probably want part-time. So she paid for part-time. And by the third market, she says, I want to come full-time. So that happened a lot this year. But I'm guessing next year, we're not going to have that as much. People are just going to want to be there all the time.
Plus, we have to consider the parking situation. The more tents and more vendors means more people, which means more parking. So we are in some ways limited by parking. Because the cops are going to they're not going to want people parking on the street.
Well, Public Works is gonna, Sean said that he's gonna have to start putting out no parking signs. So if that happens, and people are just gonna have to circle around to find a spot. That's what a lot of people did last week.
Did they?
Yep.
I think 40 to 45 is a good number.
Yeah, I mean, I don't exceed it, and that's including food trucks.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't foresee us going over that many. Because a lot of these are guest vendors too. So, but
I also wanted to remind you guys, and Fred just reminded me that the town hall is essentially closed from 5:30 on, and he just remind you that you've got all the parking behind the police station and all the parking behind the town
It's
hall.
not the police station.
Sorry, the town.
But there's 46 spaces behind.
46 spaces behind the town hall, so we got those
Okay.
too.
Well, that's good to know.
I was there during 2 weeks ago, last week, I guess it was, the crazy week. And I picked up around 5 o'clock, and there was tons of places in the library. I mean, people could have parked there. Instead, they circled around the parking lot, maybe because they didn't know about the overflow in the library. But like I say, it was around 5 o'clock. Now, it could have gotten much busier, but at 5 o'clock, there was plenty of spots left up there.
That's good to know.
This is Bill. I did encounter somebody that parked up there and they were intimidated by the fact that the gate was locked. So I told them, I said, and I have seen some people unlock it, come through and lock it back up again. But they can come in through the church and down the stairs if they decide to park in the library parking lot.
if we encounter being so busy like that again, we can always have the gate open just enough to where, like, we can even put like a rock or something where we have the gate open just enough for people to actually walk through, but not have cars drive through. Because really that's close so cars don't drive through and disrupt the whole market.
Yeah.
But
Well, also, I mean, the brush has grown up around to either side. I mean, you go to a lot of places where there's a gate, you can walk around the gate. This case, you can't really walk around it because the brush has grown up. Maybe we can, whack some of that down just enough for people to walk around, be able to walk around the gate. Well, the gate's in pretty tough shape anyways, but
yeah, it
yeah, anyway.
is. But all right, anything else new?
Well, is
Oh.
that a church? Is that a church gate or is it a library gate? Who is the gate because of the fair? Do we even know why?
I don't think it's a church gate.
Pete, can you mute?
Well, I was gonna say we should put a pool ladder over the gate.
And there's his 2 cents for the evening.
Nice. I want to see that.
Oh, we could have a fence jumping contest. Just saying. Anybody else have anything?
Do you want to know winter market yet, or we're still doing summer?
Yeah, no, let's go to winter. And talk about winter. We could jump around because I know Jamie's doing her thing, so I'd rather start talking about that.
Do you want me to start?
Oh, absolutely.
So this is Pam. I have been in contact with St. David's, which you may recall we had the market there in 2019, and Our Lady of Lourdes, where we almost had the market in 2020. They're both available, but with very different date schedules. So St. David's is available from October all the way through February if we wanted to start early for the market. St. David's is available starting November 20th through February. So they're both open to having us, and we all know that we don't know what the situation is going to actually be like then, but we have options. And
So- Go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead, me.
Yep, go ahead, Jim.
Oh, okay, I know that we were gonna have the market at Our Lady of Lourdes in 2020, and if we were gonna do a market in 2021, I would be interested in trying to do that at Our Lady of Lourdes this year, if possible.
I think Our Lady of Lourdes is huge, and I'm thinking that if we are able to do a winter market and there aren't as many crazy restrictions as last year, we're gonna get a ton of applicants. And especially after this market, we just, with summer. So I would like to try and have it at Our Lady of Lourdes. Pam, did they tell you the cost?
I told them we could afford to pay $100 a week.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that as far as food, I don't even know if we want to go there for breakfast and whatnot, but I noticed that Par 4 Catering had breakfast on the side of their catering truck. So that might be an option, but I don't know if we want people eating in there.
I don't know. I think Dude's Donuts would want to be with us too. Dude's Donuts has been interesting this year because originally the first guy I talked to was like, no, we don't want to do anything in the winter. But then the other guy who contacted me this spring was like, send me that text. We never said that. And he was like, okay.
Was it Jim?
Jim was the one who was excited to hear from us and
Yeah,
to be there and didn't
Jim is
realize his employee had declined it.
Yeah, no, if you're in contact with them, I would say always go through Jim.
Yep, that's what it seems to be.
But I would love having Par 4 breakfast. I mean, even if we can decide later if we're gonna allow eating or not. I mean, that's just an issue we decide on later. But I mean, people could still stop, grab a coffee, get some breakfast to go, eat it in their car, eat it at home.
Right. As soon as go ahead.
I was gonna say, because we know winter is just come on in, shop and leave. It's not like summer. That's it. Go ahead, Pam.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I can't, yeah. So anyway, I told them that's what we could afford, and they said that they were available starting November 20th.
All right. So do we want to at least vote on where we'd like to hold it right now, and then vote on dates, or do we want to talk about dates right now?
Well, if we go with Our Lady of Lourdes, the date's kind of set, November 20th. We can't start any earlier because they are using the room.
Right, but I didn't know if everybody wanted to go through February. I know that's what we usually do, but that was just my.
Right. So if you did November 20th, let's see, calendar. If we started November 20th and we did the one after Thanksgiving, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 markets, and then it's Christmas.
When's Thanksgiving?
27th.
Oh, okay. So we'd have one before Thanksgiving.
Correct. Which is good. That's good.
And I say we hold one after Thanksgiving. I mean, that's a busy shopping weekend. So
Yeah,
I think we always did. It was Christmas weekend that we didn't.
Correct. So Christmas is on a Saturday and New Year's Day is on a Saturday. So if we were to pick up again, it would be January 8th because nobody's going to come out on the 1st. Right, I'm assuming. Unless we want to do it on the 1st. Maybe we're all too old to go out drinking anymore.
I don't want to do it on the 1st.
I vote no on that.
All
So
right.
This is Bill. I have a question real quick. A lot of the produce, I mean, we finish up in September, the latter part of September, October, there's still some produce, but by the time that late November rolls around, there probably won't be much, right? So it'll be pretty much a non-produce market. Is that correct?
Brush Hill has produce all the way through.
They have hoop houses and greenhouses. So they have lettuce all winter. They have all kinds of greens all winter long.
Okay.
So if we have to make sure Sarah's interested.
Yes. After we talked about this tonight, I was gonna talk to vendors next week and get a feel for who's.
Lori, I can send out the Survey Monkey if you want. And I would be shocked. Sarah is slammed literally the whole market. So I would be shocked if she wouldn't be coming to winter. I'd actually be shocked if she doesn't want to come to summer again next year.
Honestly,
But I can do a Survey Monkey if you want.
you know what? I really don't want Survey Monkey. Nobody reads it.
Okay.
Nobody gets back. I think I'm just gonna print off a list and
I
talk to
can ask
everybody.
them. Well, I can ask them as they come in if you want. I'm going to talk to everyone anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You know what we'll do is I'll make up a little summary about it, and I'll ask them if they're not sure. I'll just ask them to read it, and then we can touch base with them after.
So I think the question we want to know is, do they want to do just 5 markets? Or do they want to go into January and February?
Okay.
And the
I
other,
would go- I said, for us, I would go through at least January. Because we're missing out on what, 2 markets anyway?
Yep.
so if we did 5 in November to December, and then I don't
3
know.
and trying to finish it out. I don't know.
I'm trying to.
If we go through February 12th, that would be Valentine's weekend for sales.
That's perfect.
So that would be how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Didn't we talk about shortening the season last year?
We did.
Okay.
We had scheduled a shortened season last year, and then we didn't have any. It was really
Right.
short.
Oh,
I know, but I can't remember why, but didn't our sales really taper off in February? Isn't that why we were talking about getting rid of February? Wasn't it very poorly attended? I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's been so long. Pam, do you remember?
Well, it's always slower. So for crafters, it's always busier October, November, December. And for people who eat, and shop for food, they're a little busier November, December because they're special meals, but they still eat in January and February. So
Yep.
Man, I wish Our Lady of Lourdes was available in October. I would have loved.
Yeah, October to
I
December would be perfect.
loved
Yep.
To start in October.
October, November, December, and then be done would be ideal.
Well, then maybe we should survey vendors first, see how many we think we're possibly going to get, and then decide where to have it. Because if we don't get as many as we think we're going to get, we could start in October at St. David's.
Okay. Sounds good.
and you want to make sure we have the staff for it, because I'll be doing craft shows by then. I won't be able to help out a lot of Saturdays.
You know what though? Winter market's pretty simple. It's not like summer.
I know.
Lori, does
I know
Kyle,
you know. I know you know.
Lori, does Kyle do basketball in the fall?
Yes. He's
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll be very curious to hear what the vendors say. I know that there was a customer last night asking about where she could get pies in the wintertime. So there are people who are wondering about, winter farmers market kind of things going on.
No, I've had quite a few emails about winter's market from new vendors. So I lost my agenda online because that's my day. So do we have anything else to talk about winter market? Anybody? Bueller?
I don't expect we're gonna get any DOAG guidance. Did we get any this spring?
We got no, absolutely none.
Okay.
And quite honestly, we didn't get a whole lot for last summer either.
I know. So just to recap, if we go November 20th to February 12th, that's 11 markets. And
Okay,
if we do just November and December, that's 5 markets.
I vote for November, December, or October, November, December.
Then
Not that we're voting.
yeah,
And I also just wanted to say one other thing. I thought I didn't realize I was on mute was that our new DOAG person does not send out near as much as Jamie from DOAG had sent out. So we're just not getting as much.
no, and she doesn't respond to emails either at all.
oh, that's unfortunate.
So that's very, very fun.
Yeah. So if we do October, I mean, the most we fit into that room was what? 20 vendors, and we were cheek by jowl at St. David's.
Can you repeat that last sentence, Pam?
That St. David's, I think the most we ever fit in there was 20 vendors. And that was really tight.
Maybe we can use the other foyer. People could walk down if they don't have a problem with it. If the office doors are locked and whatever, which I believe they usually are, we could use the other foyer.
I can ask, I do not need to visit Our Lady of Lourdes again, but there's a new secretary and a new pastor at St. David's. So I would have to go talk to them.
Okay. I say we wait and see and because this whole thing is going to be play it by ear,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yep. But you know, if we figure out what the vendors want and we know the dates that we can get the places, that's a lot of good information to start.
Anybody else have winter market? No? All right, so quick discussion about, so I had an email from Dime Bank asking about sponsorship opportunities. That was, I think, the beginning of July, mid-July. And then Linda was contacted from 30 Marketing about sponsorship opportunities, and they were talking about sponsoring our kid vendors, which would have been amazing at the beginning. I just didn't think there would, I know a couple of us had talked about it. I think it would be amazing for next year. He's willing to do signs for the kids and their own logos on their t-shirts and the whole thing. So I think it would be an amazing idea for next summer. And we could contact Dime Bank about being a sponsor and get more into sponsorships again. Because I had a lot of businesses ask why we didn't come to them again this year for sponsorships. And I had told them, you know, we didn't know how businesses were doing with COVID, Jamie.
I just want everybody to know that I have to log out now.
Okay, do we want to vote on meetings or just continue?
Continue.
Okay. Oh, we can vote without you anyway.
Have a good night.
So,
Well, that's great that there's people that want to be sponsors. That's
yeah.
awesome.
My phone died, but I'm here.
Okay. So, and the other thing is regarding in-person meetings or continue with the remote. I am going to say continue with remote just because I'm guessing in-person meetings aren't going to be held very much longer.
I agree.
I agree. I think the Zoom works fine, especially since we see a lot of each other at the markets for now.
Feels like I see enough of you people. So does anybody want to make a motion to continue Zoom meetings?
So I got a question for Linda. I mean, part of the reason we're able to do Zoom meetings, right? As part of the town is because of the emergency authorization the governor put forth. If that goes away, are we required to do in-person meetings?
We're not, and the governor's statement today said it's all up to the municipalities, really, as far as masking and everything else, I thought.
Well, no, what Bill's talking about is the Zoom versus in-person meetings, and that has more to do with the public being able to attend. And the governor's emergency order does expire here sometime, although I believe he did extend it. So I don't think we have to worry about that just yet, Bill. I know the council is staying with Zoom for a while yet.
So does anybody want to make a motion to continue Zoom meetings?
I would say you mimic the town council's schedule of how they're doing it. I'll make a motion to continue with Zoom meetings until further notice.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
April's hand is up.
Woohoo.
Unanimous.
That's awesome.
Does anybody have any other new business? Bill, did you want to talk about the schedule while I'm thinking about it?
I was able to get in and updated my schedule based on changes that have occurred over the summer. So I think it's accurate for me now.
Okay.
But I just knew that, when I did it back in the spring and where I am now, there was some changes. So I think
We
that's,
get it. Life happens.
yeah, right. So I think it's accurate for me. And if it's accurate for everybody else, I think that's, it's a solid way to plan who's going to be at the meeting or at the markets to help out.
All right. So you won't be here this week then?
This Wednesday,
Correct.
hopefully the schedule doesn't show that. Oh yeah, no, I won't be. I'm flying out. I'm flying to Houston on Wednesday, and it's late, but it's not late enough to catch the market. You know what I could do? I can come set up, but I won't be able to. So I'll get there too. And
No. No, absolutely not. What Pete and I do when we are like short for setting up is the night before we bring out stuff that we can bring out. So we don't have to lug it
All
on
right.
Wednesday and do that. So it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll do that. I'll plan to do that.
Speaking of
So-
schedules, are we losing our little teenage helpers too?
No. So Aya and Danielle will be back August 18th for a few more weeks. They had family flying in, so they weren't available the last few weeks. And we let this week Kate McKenzie and her friend Olivia volunteered. Otherwise, well, because originally I think Amy said she had to leave early. And so we also have Olivia and Kate who have said they loved being there and they will volunteer when we need them. So,
I'm just checking.
yep, nope, we're good. But so next week, Jamie and I will be there. We have no Amy at all. So it's pretty much me, Jamie, Pam, and April.
Yeah, I can do the sink, no worries.
That's fine. Pete and I may just drag out the sink Wednesday night.
I saw a guy drive up, use the porta potty, use the sink and take off at like 3 in the afternoon or something like that.
Shocker.
At least he washed his hands.
Lori,
Yes, Miss Linda.
I just wanted to mention what you and I talked about with the Facebook posts.
Oh, yes.
And I just want to mention, so everybody's aware, that people were waiting to the very last second to submit their stuff. So Lori and I, on Tuesday and Wednesday, I mean, literally 2 hours up before the market opened, I'm posting, and we did 16 posts on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that doesn't help us. Posts that are being run 1 hour after another, and without going into the whole Facebook algorithm, you know, it's not fair to us, and it doesn't help. If somebody like, for instance, and he does it every week, Ricky's Bake Shop, if he sends me something on Tuesday night, I'm okay with it because what he sends me, I can just cut and paste. It's just, you know, it's just a square with his photos, and that takes me 3 seconds. But some people were sending me stuff that needs to be totally written. Well, Lori sees what people send. And I'm not going to sit at my computer Wednesday morning waiting for people to send me posts. So for me, if it doesn't get to me by Sunday, it may or may not make it, unless Lori wants to be much nicer than I am.
So I had told all the food trucks that and Rogue Baking, and then there was an email back and forth that said, well, we post other days other than Sunday. And I think that led to a bit of a misunderstanding where people were thinking that they could sort of send whenever they wanted.
No, you know what? I'm going to send an email out. But Linda and I were also talking, and instead of doing like 600 multiple posts, we're going to start. Okay, so bakers. We're gonna group bakers together and promote them, and like Kate with her cheese and Staley with his wine, and you know, like that kind of thing. And then that way it's less posts and it'll reach more people.
Kind of like the food truck post. That's
Yes.
always a good one. In fact, that's the post we get the most views that's not boosted. I mean, the boosted post does the best, but the food truck post does really well. Now, if somebody sends me a menu, that's different because those do well as well. But it's just the people that are sending them up to the last second. It's crazy.
And I know personally that Linda loves when a vendor just sends a picture.
Yeah.
Just a picture. Hey, here's a picture. Make it up. I mean, they don't even tell us what it is or if it, nothing.
Another one that's easy is Cupcake for Later. Unfortunately, they wait till the last minute. I wish they wouldn't, but it's easy because all I have to do is cut and paste it because it's a picture of their board. So I don't have to say anything except today with an explanation point and post it. But some of them are crazy.
Yeah, they may not know their lineup, you know. Maybe that's why they wait.
Yeah, we should just put a deadline in there, Lori.
That's fine. I can
talk about it.
do that. Okay. Anything else?
Want to talk about bag sales or no?
Anything else new that maybe we're forgetting? Oh, I know. So the farmers market has their own Amazon account.
That's great.
Yeah, so Roxanne created it. She put in the town card. Jamie and I have login. So if anybody needs to order something, you just need to, it'd be easier just to send it to me. And one of us will order it.
That's awesome.
Because I still have to put in the purchase stuff for Roxanne, so. But this way it'll be easier. And then that way, at the end of the month, when the bill comes in, we just reconcile with them every month.
That's what we do now anyway.
So
So stupid question, could the market pay for Prime?
I think so. We had originally talked about it. And it was worth it. I don't know if Roxanne did that or not. I will, Roxanne, Prime, and see. So maybe we could take a vote and see whether or not everybody wants to pay for Prime, which is, I think it's around $100 a year, but it saves on crazy shipping costs. Last year or the year before, we had to order A-frames. I think it was 2 years ago, Pam. We had to order A-frames, and because they didn't have Prime, the shipping on them was like 30 or 40 bucks at least. So I think it would be worth paying for Prime, but
I think it's $119 now. So I'll make a motion to spend up to $130 for Amazon Prime for 1 year.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
April Sand is up. Ellen,
Hey, then we could play tunes at the market off of our Amazon account.
yeah, in the winter we could. Cause you know what though? I think Linda wants JJ back for the winter. All right, so we've got that, and I think unless anybody else has anything, our next meeting is September 2nd, 2021. And unless anybody has anything else, it is 6:32, and does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
This is Pam. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:32.
Anybody want to second that? I second it. This is Lori Harry. All in favor? Woo, unanimous. All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
Let me know when you,
Wait, and
it still says recording on my end.